What's up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video, another episode of Everyone Hates Black Men. I am your host, like I said, Edward Anderson. Today, we're going to talk about my reaction to the DJ Vlad interview. I may say a couple of things that happened in there, but partly because I don't want this shit taken down, and I've been told Vlad plays no games when it comes to that shit. I will say there is obviously the kind of 3 minute kind of trailer clip. Invite you all to check that out. Also, this is going to be no spoilers, so I'm not going to really say, oh, well, this all happened, blah, 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 because it just came out. So for anybody who wants to see it, you'll have to, I hated doing this shit, but whatever. You had to join DJ Vlad's channel. How have you joined the channel but not been subscribed? Ask me, because that's the situation I'm in. So basically, it's $5, and then you get like a lot of his full interviews, which actually makes a lot of sense as to why his interviews always are clipped out. And you never get the full ones, because the full ones are really for obviously people that are joining his Facebook group. So a lot of interviews that I wanted to go and see that I decided not to see, like Marilyn Negra, some of the more controversial ones. I'm definitely gonna go and make sure I get those fucking clips or watch those full interviews, since I already paid the $5. So, and trust me, I thought about it. I said, nigga, because I am of the, well, I'm not even going to bring that into this because it doesn't matter. It was a good interview. So let me ask you this. I got to tell you this. I got to keep it 100. I got to keep it real. So I get it. Obviously, I like Tasha K. But, and I got mad respect for how the aesthetic that Tasha K did when it comes to the interview with Kevin Samuels. So I got to keep that 100. However, if somebody would have asked me to look at what was said in the interview, what was revealed in the interview, do you have a better context of who Kevin is? And Vlad doesn't do puff interviews. You already know Vlad is going to try to jam you. So for people, as a stress test, like, if you were to actually look at an interview and you rate an interview on certain metrics, like how much did the interview do a stress test, how much you revealed about the person, how much information it was gotten through in the time spent, like little shit like that. Maybe the overall message that you pull from the interview, I would probably say, yeah, Vlad's is better. I'd probably say the only thing that Tasha K has over Vlad was the aesthetic. But obviously Vlad keeps it basic in that way. But what I will say, because one of the things that Tasha K got criticized for is they thought that she kind of softballed Kevin. Like, some people would try to act like she got like Google eyes with Kevin, because when people saw the trailer and they saw how she said, I expected to see an effeminate man, and I didn't see that when you came in, because Kevin's like 6'4" and blah blah blah. I think a lot of black women got rubbed the wrong way with that, because they expect Tasha K gonna get his ass. Vlad was still DJ Vlad, and yes, Vlad tried to jam Kevin up, but Vlad was kind of Vlad. I haven't seen a lot of Vlad interviews, but I've seen a couple of full interviews, and I've seen some of the clips from people that I want to see it from. And this was kind of before I kind of took a stance when it comes to Vlad, just off of the Culture Vulture situation. What I think. Shout out to O'Shea, because he did a good video talking about that. But I got to tell you something. Yeah, Vlad. Two things happened. Number one, Vlad was talkative a lot more than what he usually is. Meaning, you learn things about Vlad that I didn't know. And I'm not somebody to really research Vlad. And that's some things I may talk about a little bit, because that stuff is public and that stuff is already known. But you actually learn. So there was, just like how Tasha K talked about at the end, that we're at the end of the day, we're in this exclusive club called being content creators, and I understand. Vlad had that same kind of sentiment. But Vlad was still, but unlike that, Vlad was still Vlad, and Vlad tried to jam him up a couple of times. And it's not really bad, but one of the things that I would probably, and all of this is my opinion. I am not somebody that watches DJ Vlad's channel like that. I have seen maybe a total of like 10 clips from DJ Vlad from various people that I want to see. And honestly, you could argue like 3 or 4 of those clips would be like a Marilyn Negra, because she doesn't do a lot of interviews everywhere else. So yeah. So understand, I'm not an expert on DJ Vlad's content, but what I want to make that clear and be upfront with that. So this is somebody that I know who Vlad is. I know Vlad's style. I've seen a lot of commentary about Vlad, but at the same time, I have seen enough of his clips, and he has a consistent style and a consistent kind of protocol as to how he goes for the most part. Understand, take that what that is. In case some people are coming here. Obviously, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Definitely like the video, because it's going to be a very fair video. Now, he didn't really try to. I don't think Vlad is used to talking to somebody as intelligent as Kevin, as far as or interviewing. And I think it's that, but it's also the sales aspect of it too, where Kevin answered questions as they were asked, and there was maybe a couple of questions, he answered them, but he, because they asked him about his marriages and stuff, but he stayed on code. Let's say that. And I don't think Vlad is really used to black men staying on code. Because there was a couple of situations where he tried to jam him up. He tried to jam him up on the feminism shit a couple of times. And it was funny because Vlad would sit there, and Vlad would, his voice. Now I listened to it like at 1.5 playback speed, so that's why I was able to get through the interview. The interview is an hour and 38 minutes. And it's that full hour and 38 minutes, like maybe like 30 seconds. Other than that, it's talking. It was edited. It was clipped out maybe a couple of times, like as far as maybe a couple of cuts, maybe like 2 cuts. That's it. And one of the cuts was when he was asked to rate someone. So with that being said, he would come like after halfway in the interview, he would like act like it's kind of like doing Boyce Watkins shit, like well, women are integral to this and this and that, kind of like stress testing him to see what kind of like being, Solo TV84 is big on this, doing the devil's advocate thing, but I actually think Vlad did believe that. And he was like, the only executive for my company is a black woman, which is something I didn't know. And he'd be like, so women are very integral, but Kevin had answers for all this shit. And one thing that Kevin did not do is Kevin never got rattled to the point where it became him going back and forth with Vlad. And it was actually a couple of things where Vlad actually started talking about himself, identifying with things that Kevin, and it wasn't that like Vlad did it first to build rapport, to jam him up. He would do that after Kevin answered the question, which is something I've never really seen Vlad do. Usually Vlad will, if anything, he'll try to say some stuff to build rapport, and then he jam you. Versus he did that multiple times after Kevin answered one of his questions. And this showed that Kevin was very much so in, Vlad did the interview. Vlad knows how to control his interviews. But it became a little bit more back and forth than it usually is. And Kevin never moved. He was never rattled. And the good thing about Vlad trying to jam Kevin up is you got to understand how does Kevin respond to stress. So he asked him about all this shit. He asked him about the gay shit. He asked him, well, let me say this. The interview starts with really you understanding his background. Vlad asked Kevin about his background. There's certain things about Kevin that you may not know that you find out. You understand, like, as far as his family, as far as his mother, his father, as far as, his early history, as far as education, as far as what he went into, how he got into sales, how he transitioned into a YouTube channel. The early stuff they didn't really talk about the YouTube channel that much, to be honest. It was more so it got started and then fast forward to what most people know Kevin is now, probably, north of 120, but they don't really talk about like the road to that. And yeah, but yeah, he did. He tried to jam him up about 4 times. One way he tried to jam him up, just to allude to it a little bit, is he asked Kevin to rate various celebrities. and he would bring up certain celebrities, and Kevin did a really good job at not at really staying on code. Like, he answered questions that were asked, and I mean fully answer it, but it's kind of like Kevin's 51. You got him talking about like younger people, and it's like, really? But he answered them, and he explained some of his answers, and it made sense. And it's definitely an interview. And it's definitely an interview where if you want to clip the interview up and try to fuck Kevin over, it's not easy. I'm not saying that's what Vlad would do, but it's not easy to do that. And Kevin never felt like he had to really defend himself. He said what it was and he made good examples and metaphors of different things that you completely make sense. And he definitely made a declaration as far as his critics towards the end, and he did a good job. Abe Griggs, he did a good job, and he stayed on code. He tried to jam him up with Umar Johnson as well, and he stayed on code with that. Even when he tried to say that, like, this is the closest thing I'll get to a spoiler. When he tried to say, well, Umar was going at you personally, he said, no, he wasn't. He was talking to a whole sector. Another thing I will say is he mentioned Mediocre Tutorial Reviews Shahrazad Ali interview. So I'm sure Mediocre Tutorial Reviews will be very happy to see that. He mentioned that interview as like a representation of where things were going. And over the course of the interview, one thing that I think maybe DJ Vlad was going out, people could argue, well, he might have been going up. The thing is, I think Vlad had kind of respect for somebody that built a channel that was not famous. Because there was even certain things about Vlad. You learn a hell of a lot about Vlad that I did not know. And I'm not saying whether, that changed my opinion of him, but you learn a lot about Vlad in context of like what the conversation they were having back and forth. Also, shout out to Abe Briggs. He said, but why Vlad? Well, I got to tell you, man, look, man, you all know my position on us having infrastructure and building us our own infrastructure. But one thing I will say is O'Shea is absolutely right that at the end of the day, if you don't want to do the business, don't complain about people that do. So part of infrastructure is us first taking inventory of who is doing shit. And secondly, us supporting who is doing stuff and building that out. I've also spoken that in this space personally. So I'm going to leave it at that, real talk. Now, as far as answering a question, but why Vlad? Look, man, I didn't know this because I knew DJ Vlad had a huge blog. I know that. But Vlad has 4,570,000 subscribers. That is what DJ Vlad has on YouTube. We're not even talking about his blog. We're not even talking about that because his blog does massive amount of traffic. So why not? I get the principle, but some of y'all gotta think more long term. And that sounds like I'm being hypocritical, but man, dude, like, I'm not gonna sit here and put myself in that position of having that. Look, motherfuckers, Umar went on his shit. There's been plenty of pro-black people that have gone on his stuff. And when he had a lot less views, please. And you already know. And here's the funny thing about it: like, I paid $4.99 to even get. Do you know how many people are going to try to get that interview just to see? Because they know Vlad's reputation. They know Vlad. To say it positively, doesn't shy away from trying to act. He doesn't give a shit about asking questions. And there was certain Kevin stayed on code, but he didn't stay on code in a way that you never felt like, oh, he was just saying, I'm not going to answer it. He answered every question he was asked. Now, whether he went extremely, extremely, extremely deep on a question, that's a different story. Now, but he didn't answer it like he's just saying the minimum. The only thing, you got understanding of the child he has, how he got into the marriages he got, how long they lasted, which I was actually kind of surprised. They were shorter than I thought that they would be. But yeah, man. I mean, one thing a lot of people don't know about Kevin is Kevin's from the projects. Kevin's from the projects. So when people always talk about, you know, what he is and he can't, like when people play this educated lane versus street dude shit, you know, remember what I told you, the difference between the Pookie and Ray Ray and street dudes, street dudes are people that typically come from that environment versus Pookie and Ray Rays I consider non-productive black men. And yeah, interesting. Interesting. But he really, I think the thing that surprised me the most is Vlad about 3 times tried to come at Kevin from like really play devil's advocate on women contributing to society, and he really tried to jam him on that. And to see how Kevin would react, and maybe I need to stop using the word jam. Maybe it's more like he would stress test. It's kind of like if you got somebody in a chair, you want to stress test them to see how they respond. It was kind of like that. And yeah, it was, and it wasn't constant. It was just enough to where if you didn't see it coming, you wouldn't see it coming, and you might not see the next one coming. But and he wouldn't just ask the questions. He would actually give like anecdotal examples. Like I said, for instance, the one where he talked about, you know, women contributing. He talked about how, you know, women are in his organization as far as the people that he works for him personally, or women that contribute to society. But Kevin had answers for that shit. He had good answers for that, and it wasn't like he was answering extremely fast, but at the same time he had responses. It wasn't like he didn't have to think about his responses. It was a very good conversation, and from a guy that's a sales guy, you can definitely tell Kevin understands how to do the dance. And even Kevin made like a facial expression of a question was asked maybe like one time, but other than that, yeah. So shout out. I don't want this to be forever because I do have other shit to do. Shout out to Pharaoh's world. Pharaoh, what's up? Just being jazzy, and it's it is interesting. Jim Rat. You know what's up? No, Vlad, the video. In order to see the video, you have to pay $4.99. Enjoy Vlad's stuff. So this makes sense to Vlad's channel. Apparently, all of Vlad's interviews, except maybe his older ones, a couple of them that he may release, you have to go on his membership. So basically that was $4.99. And obviously, there's other like interviews that I'm gonna see because I'm gonna maximize that dollar. Trust me, I really didn't want to do that. But whatever, I wanted to see what was said because, you know, unlike that, you know, yeah. So anyway, and that is what it is. But you know, you ain't gonna give me a join on membership just to comment. But if it's something I want to see it. And the interview was an hour and 38 minutes, so it's pretty much like a movie. So it wasn't like really, really short. So yeah, if you want to see it, you're gonna have to pay for that. Now, if you want to give Vlad your money, I'll leave that up to you. If you're asking me, is the interview worth $4.99? I'll say if it was worth $9.99, honestly, it'd be worth it if it was the same. Tasha K, I think, charged $15, and I would say the interview is probably worth that as a gate. So yeah, $4.99 is definitely good. And then when you understand there's probably some other interviews that you probably want to hear what these niggas say, you know, it's definitely worth it. And I'm not trying to sell Vlad shit, but is it worth it? I'll say yes. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat because I don't know, because you got to understand that Vlad traditionally doesn't release his full interviews. What Vlad traditionally does is you know his channel. He fucking releases 7-8 minute clips, so he's gonna milk it. So he's gonna do what he does. He's gonna generate revenue. So he ain't gonna do what Tasha K did. Most likely is wait 3 days and then launch it. No, what he's going to do is he's gonna launch a clip here, a clip maybe a month. He's gonna do that, and then you're gonna have to wait. So, so you know, you want to hear secondhand from some people, or you want to hear it for yourself. It is what it is. He said, so the video out, it's not full. No, hell no. The video, you have to pay to join his membership. And what happens is the videos they're in his posts. So it's on his hidden posts that you get to see in his community tab. And that's where he puts his interviews at. That's how you do it. He doesn't use Patreon. So I actually learned that, you know, as a way of monetization. So because I didn't know that. But the video that's out now is a trailer. Okay. I mean, yeah, whatever. I did it for the interview. So Yeah, exactly. Just being jazzy, but it's a little, yeah, it's different. It said he used the post, so I guess he's sticking with YouTube. What's up, Adam Williams? What's up, Sir Anthony? Let me see. DJ Vlad is a vulture, splat culture. Yeah, but yeah, but understand we got black people to do the same shit. And when I say that, you got people like DJ Academics who gets mad views, and he's Caribbean. And I'm not trying to hate on people, but you got what is it? The shade room. So I'm not making excuses. I wanted to see the fucking interview. So all that shit, I know all that shit, but I wanted to see the goddamn interview. The end. It's a lot of people. I feel some type of way about Hollywood. I still see a damn movie. You got motherfuckers on Disney Plus charging hell. The Conjuring comes out tomorrow on HBO Max, and I got that a year for free because of my AT&T subscription. But you got you got to pay $29 to see that damn Cruella de Vil shit on Disney Plus on top of the subscription. So I mean, we can come on. We spend money on quote unquote white supremacists all the time, and Vlad addressed that a little bit. He addressed that for a hot second too. But yeah. So let's stop. Love, appreciate it. It's always good when enough female subscribing, especially some of the new ones. And I may talk about that a little bit because there was a video. Actually, I'll do that on another video. I want to keep this like real tight to what it is. Spoiler away, I'm not watching Vlad. This was easy. Kevin is smart, sharp, and alpha. He will make you step. Vlad watched and learned from Tasha respectfully. Vlad says he started his stuff in like 2009. That's what he says. Now, I remember early on, Vlad was doing interviews with porn stars. That's how he kind of got started. So that is what that is. But I definitely respect that. I'm sure there's other people that'll spoil away. You're going to get a lot of opinions from people that's going to see it. Vlad is where he is because black men want validation for him. Well, ironically, Vlad talked a little bit about his business. Vlad talked about, he said his business is 90% male. He said it's about 33%. He said it's about 40% black, like 30% Hispanic. He said his shit is from his major cities are like his major bread and butter. So like New York, Chicago, LA, the major cities. And then he said it's like about 20-something% white. And he said it's 90% male. So I mean his platform is a male driven platform, ironically. As well as small hat, why do these rappers? I mean, y'all understand. Okay, let me say this. Because y'all commenting, y'all are people that's on my channel. I know who Vlad is. I understand all of that from a pro-black perspective. But understand that this is about the interview he did with Kevin. That's it. Y'all telling me who he is and y'all announcing that's really kind of irrelevant to what we're talking about. As far as, that's really kind of irrelevant. I will point you all to O'Shea's video that he recently did commenting on people being upset that Kevin's going to Vlad, which is not what you all are saying right now. But one of the things O'Shea addresses, he says that at the end of the day, there's a lot of black people that don't want to do the business right. Now, he did acknowledge some content creators that are out there, but at the end of the day, Vlad did what he did for 10 years. And so shit. Maybe if we didn't, and let's keep this all 100. He said his platform is 90% male. So this is not even something where he had to grind out. I'm not validating him, but I'm saying, yo, motherfucker, you're going to have to, so people are going to have to jump up. This is why when you got black people hating on black people and stuff like that, I mean, let's keep it all the way 100. I ain't trying to bring up Tommy, but the reality is how long did Tommy have unchallenged and what did he do with that content? That's just real talk. So if you want to replace somebody, you're going to have to build it to do that. You want to beat Thanos, you're going to have to put together the Avengers, or you're going to have to do what the fuck you're going to have to do. So I mean, that is what that is. And the good thing is you've got people like Joe Budden, T.I. I mean, love him or hate him, nobody's perfect. Joe Budden, T.I. and others that are getting into this game. Hell, 50 Cent had his own podcast. So, I mean, And you got Kwame Brown. I'm glad this interview came out around the time, because he actually, this interview was shot a while ago, but he well, it couldn't have been shot that long ago because he mentioned Kwame Brown. So it had to be shot like a week ago. People were saying it was shot a month ago. It couldn't have been. It had to be shot maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, because Kwame Brown ain't been blowing up for that long. But you got Kwame Brown, so you have people. You have people that well, a lot of people, shit, there's a lot of motherfuckers this Farrakhan, as well. So let's stop that game. Boyce Watkins had Yvette Carnell do it. So my point is, let that happen. So anyway, the point is, you have people coming up. So make sure you all direct that energy to supporting your favorite content creators. That's what I would say. You have your opinions, because I have mine, but we got to understand when to put that aside. I don't want to keep on commenting on that, because this isn't like the Bass Vlad show. And I'm gonna tell you, Vlad talked about that. Vlad and another thing is Kevin actually, it's something I'm not gonna say, but Kevin said something interesting about the gay, when he was asked about the gay rumors and stuff. Kevin kind of made he kind of basically kind of checkmated folks. So on that, so I'll leave that. That's actually, if anything would get clipped, that would probably something that I could see get clipped. Appreciate that. The black man is, I'm sure. I mean, Kevin stayed on code. I don't know how much I attribute that to us, but Kevin did mention the black manosphere. He didn't. The only channel he really mentioned was Mediocre Tutorial and Reviews, but he really mentioned that in context of that Shahrazad Ali interview. But he definitely mentioned our sector. He definitely said we're not going anywhere. He definitely addressed us being called misogynist. He said Vlad plays checkers. Kev brought the chessboard. I already know without watching. Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, checkers is all you need to play to deal with a lot of these celebs. Because but he definitely handled that interview very well. And I'm not just saying it because I like Kev. I'm talking about from a staying on code, because like the thing I paid attention to most was how he addressed the situation with Umar, and that could have been because Vlad did mention, well, the only thing sketchy was the was the school, as if, and see what a lot of motherfuckers would have did was they would have sat there and they would have jumped in, they would have talked to that as, but Kevin kept it on code. He said we agree with a lot more than we disagree with. But but he did it in a way where he still talked about, like, certain people, like, well, they want to come at me and ask me about my progress report and am I qualified? But at the end of the day, there's, when they say what you want to hear, they don't ask that stuff, and it shows it. So it was good. The Philly rapper A-Rap did a whole confession on DJ Vlad and ended getting 4 years, a few months. Yeah, but that's on him. Because the thing is, and look, y'all know, y'all listen to me, so y'all know I'm talkative, but understand something. When I monologue, make no mistake, I know what's coming out of my fucking mouth. You're not going to notice how all the monologuing I do, it never creates an opportunity to put for them to jam me up, even when people try, because I'm very aware of what I'm saying in real time. I'm not, and a lot of these dudes, they be wanting to talk in attention, and that's on them. Yeah, but Vlad knows how to get people comfortable to do that. But the reality is, he's good at what he does. But at the same time, man, because I remember when Jason Black did a whole thing on Vlad, and he broke down like a lot of Vlad's equipment. When that, Tariq Nasheed and Tommy Sotomayor thing popped off. But yeah, a lot of them dudes, man, they ain't got discipline. Kevin got discipline, which is something y'all really don't see. Also, his posture is a little bit different. His girl, no, I didn't. Yeah, I'm just saying I didn't know that. I mean, and it's not something that Vlad promotes that he's got a black female executive. But and then you got to understand that his fan base is only 10% women, so it really doesn't matter. So ironic, but see, at the same time, even though black men are the topic of the conversation, and Vlad addresses that too. Well, Godfrey, I'll give a little bit more rope. I definitely will, but Lord Jamar is one of the main guys who are instrumental in making Vlad who he is. So he can leave now, but it don't matter. It don't matter. I mean, like Lord Jamar defended Vlad many of times. So he can get upset about Farrakhan now, but that's kind of too little too late. Kevin Samuels will be at 1 million subs. He'll be at 1 million subs by the end of the month. It's on track for that. And I appreciate y'all checking me out. I know we got, some Miss X talking about Miss G, and I'm sure, a lot of y'all like to get your fuckery on. But I'm sure, trust me, this won't be long. And he's at 9:30 right now. Well, yeah, he was gonna. Oh, he was gonna ask that. And Kevin started laughing when it was asked. He asked him about the the video. This is how I know it wasn't done that long ago. He asked him about the video where the dude popped up. He asked him about all that. Yeah, Black, come on, man. You be a fool. You be a fool to not know. Yo, what's up, Marty McFly? Vlad slept with most of the black women he had working for him. He's your typical white interloper who exploits. Yeah, I could believe that. And if black men do it, we get jammed up. But notice how them women won't turn him in though, but they'll turn us in. But that is what it is. Low hanging fruit. Vlad is beneath. I mean, yeah, but as a guy, Kevin as a guy that's in sales and really looked at. Remember, O'Shea says Kevin looks at media differently than most people. And one thing y'all got to understand. I mean, come on. I got to keep it 100. If Kevin were to go to a lot of these female, like if Kevin went to the Griot or Kevin went to a lot of these typical female vlogs or blogs, the truth is Kevin's going in just as hostile territory. In fact, that'd be, in my opinion, a little bit more hostile. So, I mean, let's just keep that all the way 100. But, 4.5 million subscribers. I mean, people are going to see it. So, I mean, it's business. It's business. And I think, one of the things we got to start doing as a people, and people, I'm not being hypocritical. When I say certain things, when it comes to the culture stuff, that shit is a long-term goal that requires long-term building. And unfortunately, people want like fast, the easy thing is to tell somebody to boycott something. The hard thing is for people the easy thing is for Lord Jamar to stop fucking with Vlad. The hard thing is for Lord Jamar to support other people when he supported Vlad. See, that's the hard thing. See, it's easy to react once he fucks up. It's hard to but see, people could have saw that coming. And I'm not trying to make this about Lord Jamar. And by the way, Lord Jamar has some slick shit to say about Kevin too. That's another thing. But Lord Jamar supported Vlad all this time. See how that works? I mean, it's the same thing with going on Adam 22, but 4.5 million. Unfortunately, it's. I mean, shit. Black people didn't own the Source. That was Benzino. But it was what it was. That's a commentary on us. And at the end of the day, if we want to fix it, we got to fix it. You said who got way more? What y'all talking about? Low hanging fruit. I think it's marketing. I get it. But y'all can have your opinions. I get it. I'm speaking to him. Remember Umar David with the comment section erupted over his political views. Yeah, I mean shit. Umar Tariq, they all went on that motherfucker. Did he shout out? No, he didn't shout out Obsidian. DJ Vlad is not a well. My point, it doesn't matter, but I did get it. I did, I like Intel. The men's restoration. I haven't seen you before. This is a magnificent business move. It is, and it's a good move for Vlad. I mean, this is the up and coming dude. Why wouldn't you do it? Diversify. Tampa Supreme. Kevin should have done an interview with LG. What? Tampa. Let's keep it real. Kevin can always do an interview with O'Shea. And understand if Kevin does an interview with O'Shea, he's doing O'Shea a favor. And, people like to talk about O'Shea brought Kevin into business. The truth is, look, I'm not going to play this game, this tit for tat shit. Yes, O'Shea is very instrumental. But the truth is, BGS had just as much of a hand as bringing Kevin into business as O'Shea. Let's just be 100% on that. It's gotten lower. I don't. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know who you talk about. I know Derek Jackson stuff has gotten lower, but Vlad was not at 4.5 million. When I checked last time, he was not there. Tommy going to be jealous. Well, Tommy almost did an interview with Vlad, but Tariq jammed his ass up. Oh my God! Did Kevin implicate himself in? No, Kevin ain't implicate himself in any crimes. Cloud, but Kevin did look like a godfather the way he was sitting. That shit was funny as hell to me. Cloud Chase Supreme, that's Vlad. Yeah, I don't get into the Pookie Ray Ray argument because many of them change and improve their lives. I've seen it firsthand. Look, man, yes, you're right. Pookie, quote unquote, Pookie and Ray Rays can change and improve their lives, but I'm gonna comment on who you are in the moment. That's it. If you're fat, you're fat. If you're this, you're this. I mean, that just is what it is. I'm not gonna sit here and then nah, fuck all that. I don't believe that because I think black people make a lot of excuses. I think black people make a lot of excuses for certain people. And no, I'm not. We got to be more wiser about that. So, like I said, I only can see how you're operating in front of me. That's all I can see. What's up, DJ Kuda? Gym Rat, YouTube memberships are the new wave now. Got to charge folks for good content. Well, yeah. I mean, absolutely. And some people don't know the business model of memberships. People are like, it's a membership. Like things like comment and stuff. I mean, obviously the memberships were a way to go after Patreon. And Patreon has its place, but there's other sites. Like there's a site called Subscribestar. You're gonna have smaller things that they deal with more niche things, depending on what type of stuff it is, what type of content. Because YouTube can't do everything because YouTube can't do the more adult shit. So but Patreon has its limits too on stuff like that. So it just depends on what type of creator. I just look at interviewing bits and parts. It ain't serious. No, it ain't. I mean, I said this so I could comment, let you all know what it was about. I did it so you didn't have to. And I'm sure other people are going to do it so they can have panels and commentary on it. So look, man, let me tell you something. When it comes to that TV show Insecure, I've never seen a single episode of Insecure, but I ended up watching Ron Will's reviews on it and BGS reviews on it. So I understood what the show was about based on them giving their commentary on what happened, with the various scenes. I gave them my views. I do that. So I definitely get that. And part of your eyeballs do carry weight. Your time is important. So absolutely. This is why I always tell you all, even if you all can't, spend money, share a video. Now, obviously it's the content creators. It's the content creator's job to kind of formulate content that makes it easier to share. Because I make content that's loaded. So I know mine's not going to be shared. That's why I share other people's videos typically, like as far as on my community posts, because most of the time those are shareable videos, But you have to make content because I'm not trying to blow up your Facebook. But anyway, I can get in that. What's up, Angela C? I'm not paying for that. I'm curious as to how much people would, but I'm sure people will. But you gotta remember, he did that for his current members. It ain't like I don't mind watching in part. Some channels can't. I can't watch in full. It's cool. I know Kevin's killed it. The Casanova interview was used against him in court. I mean, that nigga's dumb. Yo, could you imagine them pulling that shit in the courtroom? I like, nigga, the lawyer looking at him like, nigga, you dumb. Like, and I'm still gonna get this money. This interview is gonna be like 80 parts fucking with Vlad. I don't know. I haven't looked at Vlad's interviews like that, so I don't know how long. Let me do this. I don't know how long Vlad's videos are typically, because like I said, I only got that for that. Hold on, let me, because I am not. I would, because nobody is gonna sit here. Membership, loyalty badges, customer emojis, Vlad. Interviews the first day. Yeah, so he'll, yeah. So let me see. Let me compare. Like one I'm seeing is 1 hour and 6. One is 1 hour and 41. 2 hours and 12. 58. So yeah, it was about. Yeah, it's about in the middle. Because like because some of them are like Boosie's was 2 hours, 2.5 hours. He asked him a lot about shit. He asked him a lot about celebrity shit, and it was interesting. Like hearing somebody ask him about like Boosie. This is what Boosie said, because when you hear people comment on stuff like that at that level, it's almost like you're at the same level. So that was like weird. Yeah, this is about in the middle as to what I see. It's about in the middle. His longest interviews are 2.5 hours, which is only a couple. His shortest interviews, which you see a lot of them, are 50. I see that biblical one that I'm gonna check out. But what's I've been talking a lot about that, and that's pretty quick. Here, dumb shit you gotta say. So yeah, it's about in the middle. Yeah, they do. I'm not making excuses, but at the end of the day, we're gonna have to build our own shit, and part of building is taking inventory. That'd be funny. I can't even mention that because then somebody be saying I'm suggesting it. But I see y'all in the chat. Death Racer said nobody's exploiting black culture just because they cover it. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. A lot of that's hating, and it's kind of like there's plenty of people in the industry or in proximity of the industry, and yeah. So y'all mad that he exploits Pookies? Ha ha ha. It's more of a cultural thing. Next up, I mean, the Breakfast Club already started their shit, and the thing is, I wouldn't go in the Breakfast Club because the Breakfast Club is like obviously hostile territory. And they have every incentive to try to jam him the fuck up. I wouldn't go there. Yeah, and they got 4.8 million. I wouldn't go there though, because they have every reason to try to not until he's gotten. I wouldn't go there because all they gonna do is say some dumb shit, and or they're gonna try to get a clip or a headline, and no, I wouldn't even do that. I definitely believe in the media accountability. Can't be more mad at media, especially how they did Kwame too. He backed out because the difference between like Jason. Look, man, I got respect for him talking about white supremacy, but a lot of celebrities won't talk to him. That's the problem. And I've alluded to that, but I get it. And it's not about his ability to do it. It's about that part. And maybe that's why the business got created. And that maybe that's why he was talking to him. Like maybe, but but Vlad wasn't made in a day. It took 10 years for Vlad to get to where he is, or at least like 6 or 7. Dudes in space are hating on Kwame and still don't get me started, man. But Kwame last time, because I'm waiting because this NBA game I gotta see the Lakers, man. I'm gonna be a hater on the Lakers. I gotta see the Lakers lose, man. Kwame's at 337 at this point, so he's growing. I just watched the clip. It's going to be interesting. Avengers Assemble. Oh yeah. Appreciate the super chat. Do you think this interview helped win people outside the manosphere to his perspective or show high in a more defensive light? I think that if you're open minded, it depends on how. It always comes down to how open minded you are. If you're open minded, this is definitely, because one of the things he did challenge people. He said, "Look, if you two things." Kevin said. One is he said, I challenge you to watch a video from front to back." And so the main thing, because even the way Vlad was asking him about the average invest video, because he was trying to play that's harsh and all that, but Kevin had answers for that, and not the typical answers you typically hear. He went in a little bit more in depth. Um, on certain things, and he made certain comparisons, like, that made sense. Um, but if you're open, you're open. If you're not, if you're one of these people where you like, for instance, and I'm gonna mention this. There's that woman by the name of Feminine Fancy. She did a video, which I'll talk about maybe this weekend. Maybe I'll do an upload with it, about how she's getting out of the business, I guess the femininity niche, or maybe she's not going to be committed to that. Let me say that. And then she mentioned, like, where it started, where it is. And, like, basically she said a lot of things, to be fair, but she kind of, I kind of think she kind of acted like, well, men got involved and they got fucked up. How dare a man has opinion? She tried to make this little statement. Oh, well, the only body can tell me about myself is my father and my brother. No, because your father's not trying to fuck you. Your brother's not trying to fuck you. So, yeah, they have their place. But at the same time, they're not the end buyer of who you are at the end of the day. So who you're trying to get, yeah, they damn sure have a vote, at least collectively. And this is what women don't understand. And so she basically did the shit the makeup chick did that Kevin talked to on Instagram, and it got too hot, so she's bowing out. And it's like, and it's like, look, I ain't mad at you. She started the niche on a femininity thing. But the reality is, it's like, yeah, you wrote the niche. Now you're getting out and you're going to switch it up. And she has a personality I think people will follow. So she's going to convert it into like a vlog channel. And hey, it is what it is. When I say jam up, I mean when you ask people questions to try to, what I'm talking about. When you stress test people, you try to play devil's advocate and try to ask them questions they may not want to answer, or questions things they may not want to talk about. And so people, like, they're trying to answer it, but they don't know if they want to answer it. If you're not prepared, or you're not comfortable with, speaking on it, you'll feel like you're getting jammed up. So it's like, you're jammed up. CJ MBL, he was always going to jail. A lot of them dudes are not real about how social, like, they, no, whatever, man. Yep. So that's why I mean, open up for A-Rab in Philly. He's a good dude. I opened up for A-Rab in Philly. He's good. Just don't commit crimes. You'll be all right. Yeah, I agree. KS pilots to make the same dumb mistake. Tupac to make saying, yeah, you're right. Neek miss one such, and no, he'll have it by the end of June. Not even the end of summer. He'll have it by the end of June. He's at 930 right now. He's got 70 to go. And then you got to realize, probably like the bigger, like an actual clip will be released. Shout out to that Laker game at 10:30. Yeah, he just launched. He just launched the clip, and I mean he'll eventually launch it, because I do see some of the full interviews, so it'll eventually come out. But he just launched the clip. Let me see. They asked him about Lori Harvey. They asked about Lori Harvey. I'll give you this. Vlad asked Kevin to rate Megan Thee Stallion. I was like, oh shit. I paused. I was like, oh shit. This nigga, he gonna get this nigga cussed. You gonna get this nigga cussed out. But he answered the questions, because he brought up the your sweetie situation. Yeah, like the video, like that video has got 1,400 comments. Yeah, man, these motherfuckers, this shit is lit in this chat. It's people like, I can't believe this actually happened. Oh shit, I wasn't expecting this combination. Vlad about to stretch this interview the whole summer. Click fast and a high value man. Vlad is going to split this into 20 parts. Yeah, he said it's probably only interview. I'm trying to see if any, like, I'm seeing a whole bunch of dudes. I ain't even, but he did say 90% of this thing is male. Ty Love, happy for Kevin Samuels. Raven reminds me of my childhood. My dad up around 60. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, but he did. Yeah, he said that in the 2-minute clip. Yeah, man, he said that Kevin's dad nigga talk about he an only child on his mom's side. I said, nigga, that don't count. By that definition, I'm an only child. Like, you're not an only child. Like, you're like, okay, I get it from your mom's side, but you got like 10, 13 kids. He said, I can see Avion Crockett doing a parody to this. Yeah, those do be funny. Yeah, you talk about kid shit. A lot of them New York motherfuckers be having hella kids from back in the day too, man. It'd be like, God damn, y'all was like, fuck condoms, yo. Everybody saying it's basically gonna get milked. It's not really he said, oh Lord, here we go. It's really, I'm not seeing a lot of females in here. Like they'll have a lot of secondhand shit. It's gonna be funny. Hold on, somebody mentioned Tommy somewhere crying. Oh, here goes Solo TV 84. Manosphere, we made it. Mainstream. Look, this woman, Hanaya Monroe, he'll never be mainstream. Kevin don't look. First of all, Kevin don't need to be fucking mainstream. Like, understand something. That's like saying, like there's social, like see, whatever. I'm not even gonna. That shit don't matter because that shit don't matter. Made it to what y'all pathetic. Oh, here's where the haters are. Yeah, talked about the glitch, and then he got these little gay things. I like. And yeah, I'm glad he said what he said in that interview regarding the gay stuff, because he said something that really kind of called something out that I was like, yeah, you know what, that was smart. Y'all here the haters. Here the haters. Yeah, here's these females, angry ass bitches. Yep. It's a couple of them in here. And the thing about it is, ain't nobody even thinking about these females like that. Like, these women be really living in their own WandaVision worlds, and that's what I'm gonna start calling it. These WandaVision chicks, where they live in their own world. Like I like the saying when somebody says somebody's living rent free in your mind, because it's like, yeah, women love to say shit like, "Who hurt you?" I'm like, yo, you all are. The fact is, a guy like this exists bothers you all so much. Like, at the end of the day, black men has had to live with women not standing us for a long time, and it just is what it is. But this shit, women ain't used to. It's funny. Like, yeah, it's funny because it's like when you got whole clubhouses where you're talking about a man, like it makes you all sound retarded. This is why I tell you all, y'all need to just tell these chicks, go get you a white man and be done with it. If we really the problem, go free yourself and go get you a white man. That's his content strategy. Vlad's sleeps black but married. Shout out to the Amla Sandler movie. That shit was the bomb. The Griot is anti-black male, so he couldn't see that coming. DJ is gonna. It depends, because it depends when he launches it. I didn't see the Adam 22 interview, but I know it's at like 1 million and something. Yeah, and I'm not trying to have an argument of who brought Kevin in. It's stupid. Lord Jamar couldn't be fair to Kevin Samuels. He would be risk being another jumper. Absolutely, you're absolutely right, Xanatos. But see, that's the beauty. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of coming up. Like, not being the status quo, but coming up. Because there's a difference between coming up the right way and then having to switch the fuck up. And understand something. This is what a lot of y'all think. I'm talking about females and some of y'all dudes that y'all kiss their ass. Y'all think that, when COVID stops, everything goes back to normal. No, it doesn't. That's like you saying, well, there's going to be a time where Amazon's not going to make a lot of money and everybody's going to go into retail stores. Yeah, because that's what it's been. Outside of like Walmart and Best Buy, everybody's fucked. But just because they're not broadcasting that on the media doesn't mean you don't see stuff in the background. Because so we know it's the sheep, and then it's what's really going on. The reality is, like y'all, it's gonna happen in people. No, YouTube. You think YouTube's got its YouTube TV? Because I remember me and Mr. Research used to go back and forth, And only time will tell still, but like, oh, but they're going to kill content creators. No, they're not. They're always going to have certain level of content creators. And this was kind of before live streaming really became a really big part of YouTube's business model. And because I always thought, I said, no, because you got Twitch. So if they kill all of their content creators, then that's going to remove Twitch. That's going to give Twitch an advantage, because Twitch can always switch up and expand from gaming, and YouTube is not going to want to give Twitch that market share. And I believe Amazon owns Twitch. So Google, no, that's competitors. So they're not, that's not, it's not, I'm not saying it, they won't, they'll always be like for certain creators over others. Yeah, Amazon owns Twitch, but they're never, and now Amazon's getting more and more into the content, situation. They're going to want to compete at all levels. So, but they're never going to really kill stuff. They will kind of, you get it, but it's always, like I said, under I understand on his show was a business move. It opened him. Well, it ain't even about. Well, technically, you got so technically think about this, and this I didn't know. Vlad's audience is. I mean, this makes sense, but I didn't think it was 90% male. So 4.5 million subscribers, 90% male. Black men, white men, and Latin men. About 38 to 40% black. About 30-something percent Hispanic, about maybe 20-something percent, high 20% white. That is, and then 10% women. That is literally his audience. That is literally what that is. And understand, people always talk about, oh, it's about the women, And then when you look at a lot of these guys like Joe Budden, Adam 22, a lot of these motherfuckers women ain't watching like that. Well, I bet you he's pissed off about that shit. Damn, I bet you he's mad about that shit. Well, the question is, I'm gonna see if the interview. I'm curious if the interview is on his member. Now that y'all mention it, can you search these posts? No, I don't see this shit. Wow. Nah, yeah, you right. It ain't there. I mean, you gotta understand. A lot of times, the new shit is what drives the algorithm, because they look at what drives now. And you gotta understand, as much as they've knocked Tommy's channels down, plus Tommy's channels is spread out with a couple of different things. That even though he's had staying power, that shit has still had an effect. Well, he didn't want to harm. He didn't want to do that. That's not what Tariq never intended to do that, because he knew he wouldn't have to. Jason Black would never be on DJ Vlad's. He would create something similar. My bad. Urban Maz, do you think his interview helped win people outside of Mansfield his perspective? Yeah, but we'll see. You gotta see the interview come out. Only time will tell. NYC Sawman, more folk care about Vlad interviewing USB men rappers than are actually concerned about the blunt served out Draco AK-47 brandishing lifestyles of these rappers themselves. Well, I mean, that's called black people. Not with debates about what we talk about. Your point being blah blah blah. Shout out to Nurse and Nerd. Nope, she couldn't keep selling the red lipstick on the pig. Honestly, I do believe Kevin be messing with some of these chicks' mental health. I believe these women get so upset and they get addicted to high low emotions. DMX, rest in peace, had 15 kids. Yeah. But these women will sit there and tell us, oh, well, it's all these men. No, it's not. It's about 18, 20, it's about 20% of men is doing all of this. And that's on y'all. That's that matriarchal mating pattern. That's why when people try to act like better not be major, AM1. That's what AM1 gonna start hating. AM1, like, shout out to AM1. AM1, like, yeah, Kevin is right where he needs to be. And he better stay his ass right in that lane. The thing about it is, honestly, when you look at the speed in which man, there's Instagram channels, like there's a channel called Hoodville. That channel has 7 million 7 million subscribers. You got channels and trust me, Kevin is gonna get his money, but he's kind of letting it grow because it's like a stop. He even said that there was people that found him that, coming to interview under 25 that found him on TikTok. Because what Kevin don't know is there's a TikTok channel, Kevin Samuels TV, that said 462,000 subscribers, while Kevin's only at 22. I told Kevin he should got his ass on TikTok. That motherfucker, and all he does is upload. He does kind of like what Stream Team Me does without the edits. We have videos coming out. You will be shocked what they are going through. The other side, and they're begging black men to take them back. All right, I'm interested in seeing it, nurse. Beat us in more. Yeah, you should sub to Nurse and Nurse channel. I mean, I do believe y'all gotta man, honestly, man, if people get mad when they talk about, oh, you're supporting women, dude. You look, when you look at all the women that came up, there is no female that came up that went 180% bad on us. Like all them women, they were all raised they made 90-degree turns, but they always do subliminals. They always do subliminals. And that's what a lot of y'all be letting go. See, the problem is a lot of y'all compare certain people to other people. And that's what y'all be doing. I look at what they say on their own. So when people be saying, oh, we built this, whatever. Amazon bought MGM, which has Amazon bought MGM for $8 billion. So y'all when we go back to the movies, and I used to be a big movie buff. Y'all gonna see Amazon they got the James Bond franchise, all those catalogs. Well, I mean, we call it the Chitlin circuit, but the Chitlin circuit, there's a reason the mainstream mattered. The mainstream doesn't really matter anymore. It's now about being independent. I mean, 10 years ago, Drake was independent, but still was doing things on his own terms. So you got to look at it from a different perspective. I mean, now think about it. If you can go platinum without a record deal and you can get your stuff sold. See, this is what Remy Ma used to talk about when she was going to Nicki Minaj. She said, you may sell more records than me, but you have to. I don't have to sell that many records because I'm getting most of the money for the record sold. And that was 5 years ago? 5 years ago. So it's a different game. So you have to look at it from a different way. The reality is, look at how Kevin's being known and he's not being put on TV. Kevin hasn't been on TV, but people know him. And then you got to understand, so this stuff shares like gangbusters, yo. Absolutely, because Kevin brings traffic, and that's another thing. It ain't Kevin. And all these people don't always bring traffic bumps. Kevin brings a massive traffic bump. He said Angry Man versus and Tommy versus Kevin Sam. I mean, look, man. I'm speaking on Angry Man because I know there's always some niggas. One of you niggas out of the 120 will be like, oh, you heard whatever talking about you. And then I'm going to get a, keep your name out your mouth, nigga. Look, my thing is this. And I said this about Grown Man Podcast. I said the same thing about Angry Man. A lot of y'all be wasting energy. I'm talking about audience members. Y'all be wasting energy like talking about somebody else. Well, if you all want to promote the people y'all fuck with, y'all need to be promoting these people when it comes to doing interviews with certain people. That's what y'all should be doing. You know, the reality of the situation is big reason why Kevin grows is because people share his shit offline. And that's just something I always said that y'all should do. Now, I've made my comments about certain shit, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that's really, like, really positioned to do very, very well. But it is what it is, you know. Look, I only got 4,000 subscribers, so, you know, but it is what it is. Shout out to Black Swords 404 with the $5. Get ready for supply shortage, inflation. Trucks having problem getting parts for repairs. If it continues, we will lose capacity. Like I said, I'm set up to win, y'all. Oh, I see your message, Xanatos. He said, don't let Kevin link up with Kwame. It could happen. It really could happen. Because you got to think about it. You got to really think about it. You know, Tommy done burnt that bridge with Kwame. He fucked that up. And that's what I'm saying. You see how he is in real time, yo. And it is what it is. Meant to say not being made. Yeah, I mean, you know. Edward Anderson, of course, is gonna F their heads up. Yeah, it is. I mean, these women be having nightmares about Kevin Saint. Somebody's got, Stream Team memes. Stream Team memes. You need to do this clip. Stream Team memes has a clip of, nigga, let me show you. I'm gonna show you real quick. I want y'all to think about this real quick. Shout out to BGS. He's live. Hold on. I want y'all to see this. Where is that one with the elevator? Yo, I didn't even see the Bernard Riley one. Yeah. Oh, hold on. This, imagine doing a nightmare version of this. Doing, like, somebody needs to work on this skit. Somebody needs to work on this skit. Shout out to Stream Team Memes. Make sure you subscribe. Let me put this down here. Dude definitely does fun things with the edit, so make sure you subscribe to Stream Team Memes. Pretty much playing a commercial. Check this out. Get on your purpose. I always forget the share audio. On your grind, all right? Make clear. Get on Watch your purpose and get on your grind. I take it up because I know it's only one elevator. Mm-hmm. The guy is doing cleaning. They're doing garbage. Yeah. It happens. That's why you gotta grab them when you can, right? Yeah, exactly. All right, enjoy the view. Enjoy your morning. All right, take care. Simple conversation with a lady. That's all. Simple conversation. You ain't gotta be stuttering. This is retarded. Whoa, you talk to a lady. Simple conversation, yo. My nigga. When you have a simple conversation with someone, interact, anything's possible.
So all these guys.
This ain't the one. This ain't the one. This ain't the one I'm talking about. This is the one I'm talking about. First of all, let me keep that 100. Like, real talk. Like this is what these niggas be talking about when they say that, oh, simple conversation. Nigga, y'all really be believing niggas can't have. Oh my God. Anyway,
what's going on, everybody? You see Manhattan, you know what I'm saying? And you guys see me. Now I'm gonna get on the elevator. We're gonna see what's going on.
Watch this shit.
You dig what I'm saying?
Conversation should be fucking very easy if you're engaged. Get your mind off the ass. Be there, present in the fucking conversation. Don't even look at a chick.
How you doing? All right. Are you going to the second floor? Okay. So how was your day so far?
Hold your head up. Hold your motherfucker. Don't even look down.
How was your day?
I didn't know if you're on the phone.
No, I'm good.
It was okay.
Not bad. Man, not bad.
Confidence.
So nice.
Hold your masculine frame.
Kind of good day, but should be a little bit more warmer than usual, don't you think?
I guess I haven't been outside today.
Yeah, it's your floor.
Have a good one.
Have a good one. Take care. I see you. I hear you.
Yeah, these niggas be really acting like, I mean, I'm not trying to be stupid, but I mean, that's what them niggas really be believing. They really be believing that niggas are out here not able to have a simple conversation with some random female. I'm like, that's really what you all really be thinking a lot of these dudes can't do. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And that's how I know a lot of these motherfuckers be lying. They be capping. Nigga, oh, you just can't talk to a woman. That's why these black women, like, you really be believing that black men are damn near on the spectrum, and that's why black women do what the fuck they do. Are you fucking serious? Y'all act like motherfuckers don't be working with bitches. Like, what are you talking about? And that's why when I hear dudes use those fucking excuses, and I kind of rail against that, because that shit is what they be believing. Oh, well, you can't have a simple conversation. You just free. I'm like, that's not what happened. Like, nigga, please shut up. But that's funny. My point of even sharing that is that you should do that, but do like a nightmare where Kevin's saying, like, when you heard alpha male strategies, like, oh, you average at best, and then they sitting here going back and forth in the bed and they crying, looking like that Tyler Perry movie in on Netflix. You know, I need to get like they sweaty and just look like they just been fucked up. Cause that's literally how they be acting. Yeah, you know, you average at best. You weigh more than Emmitt Smith. Like, you know, shit, that shit would be funny as hell to me. That shit would be funny as hell to me. Exactly. That shit would be funny as hell to me. I had a dream that Kevin said I was average at best. Be honest. What would you rank me? Am I a 10? And then motherfuckers, they be like, yeah. Lying their ass off. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate, BGS is live. I'm gonna release y'all to talk to somebody else. It's some lives going on. You know, obviously, I prefer you go to BGS, but I know y'all, you know, there's fuckery around. I'll say that. You know, it's funny. But anyway, it was a good interview. It is what it is. So anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. With that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace. I hope LeBron loses.